Welcome back, True Seeker. Saturday, January 31st, 2026. A nor'easter or a bomb cyclone expected to impact the Carolinas all the way up to New England the weekend before the Super Bowl. Of course, New England's in the Super Bowl and their quarterback's from the Carolinas, just like his receiver, Mac Hollins, which reminds us that Bill Belichick, who used to be in New England, went down to the Carolinas and coached UNC and had an embarrassing year. Not to mention, Bill Belichick criticized the Patriots for drafting Drake May, and in this past week, he got denied the Hall of Fame. Are these things a coincidence? Remember, a year ago on this day, a plane crashed in Philadelphia on Roosevelt right before the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So we'll look at that. But a lot of you asked me about the death of Michael 5000 Watts, the DJ and founder of Swishahouse Records, that was in its heyday 20 years ago when they were producing Mike Jones and Paul Wall and Slim Thug and Chameleonaire. And I want you to see what's so, I guess, ritualistic about his passing, as we've covered so many times. Again, if you're new here, look up the song Murder by Numbers by the Police from 1983. Read the lyrics to the song Murder by Numbers. It's about how killing is as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. And then look up the song Gematria, the Killing Name by Slipknot, and just read the lyrics. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. Again, I've been here for going on 13 years, showing how all these premature deaths in the entertainment industry, or seemingly the majority of them, are by this Kabbalistic code of ABC is 1, 2, 3. Again, Kabbalah is what the world elite are into. Within Kabbalah is this practice of coding numbers into words. And today we have the death of Michael Watts of Houston. Consider when you think of Watts in Houston, J.J. Watts probably comes to mind, former Houston Texans star who played in NRG Stadium. Energy. Houston's the biggest energy city in America, the biggest refining city. Watts are measurements of power, energy, power, watts. We talked about a lot of rituals with J.J. Watts in his time, and you might recall when Houston froze over a handful of years back, we had that predicted months out, and we showed how it was literally connected with J.J. Watts and Deshaun Watson and James Harden, who all wanted out of town at the same time. They wanted to get out while Houston was frozen. But yeah, now we have Michael Watts, dead at 52, and his surname Watts equates to 52, and you'd never believe it, but he's literally dead 52 days from J.J. Watts' birthday, okay? So can consider that a coincidence. The day he died, yesterday, January 30th, 2026, or at least the day the news broke that the publication was put out about his passing, it was a date with 77 numerology. Houston equates to 77, as does power. And of course, music moves people, just like energy products. January 30th, 130. Human sacrifice 130, and we'll come back to that. His biggest artist was Mike Jones, arguably. That was pretty much the one that put his record label Swishahouse on the map. And again, if you're new here, this gematria thing, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language. The alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z is 26. The reverse alphabetic order, it's going Z is 1 back to A is 26. And both orders with numerology applied. Michael Watts' cause of death is torsades de puentes, which I've never heard of before, but all the articles say the same thing. That phrase or that name equates to 73, like ritual sacrifice. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, his name, Michael Watts, is 73. We talk about this number all the time in celebrity death. Notice the artist that put him on the map, Mike Jones, he died 73 days after Mike Jones's birthday. His Wikipedia has this shirt of Mike Jones wearing an Ice Age t-shirt right now. I wonder when that was updated. Just in light of all the ice raids, the record ice storm last week, today the bomb cyclone. I looked at it and I thought, what? But yeah, 73 days after Mike Jones's birthday, Michael Watts is dead, and from a cause of death that equates to 73. And again, if you're new here, I mean, if you went through my catalog of videos, well, YouTube's deleted 20 some channels because they hate me putting out this information, and now we're super shadow banned. So there's probably hardly anyone who's going to see this video. But if you were new here and you went through the catalog of videos, you'd see me talk about celebrity death in 73, probably at least 500 times in the last 13 years. And it's probably a lot more than that. That's a conservative estimate. But yeah, 73 again. Sacrifice alone is 73. See, with the alphabetic order, sacrifice is 73. With numerology applied, ritual sacrifice is 73. Again, these ciphers, you got to learn them all. Mike Jones' full name is Michael Allen Jones, which equates to 301. The majority of the world writes the 30th of January, 30/1, like 301. Michael Watts also equates to 44. How old is Mike Jones right now? He's 44 years old, and so is Paul Wall. And Sitting Sideways, the Paul Wall song, that was probably the next, those were the songs that really put the Swishahouse map on, or the label on the map. Both artists are 44 right now. Mike Jones and Paul Wall. And Slim Thug is also on that song with Mike Jones, and Slim Thug has the 44 Gematria as well. He's also on the label. Again, Paul Wall was one of the great white hopes in hip hop. 44 years old. And 44 is a fateful number. The first president to die in office died on 4/4. MLK killed on 4/4. Words like execution and kill equal 44. The Ides of March to remember the killing of Caesar in 44 BC, and so on and so forth. But yeah, fateful number is 44. So again, just the timing of Michael Watts' death synced up with the artist who put his label on the map. Okay. Paul Wall, Sitting Sideways. Song came out August 20th. And from that day to the death, 163 days. Remember, that's the 38th prime number. Majorly fateful number. Just look up the movie poster for Murder by Numbers. They code a 3883 right on the cover. Murder equals 38 and 83. The label's known for the label's known for the sound called chopped and screwed, which also equates to 163. Again, 163 is the 38th prime. We just talked about this pattern the other day with the actor who portrayed Michael Orr, who's on his deathbed right before the Super Bowl in San Francisco. Michael Orr sounds like ore, like gold ore, like iron ore, like valuable minerals that are mined. But yeah, we just talked about this exact same pattern. We talk about it all the time. Again, these same patterns come up all the time. If you're new here, death equals 38 with the alphabetic order, 20 with numerology. A lot of these hit songs that put this label on the map came out in 2005, so 20 years and change ago. Swishahouse was established in 97. 97. Death, 97 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. 97 is the 25th prime number. Death also equals 25. 38 is the 25th composite number. It's interesting how all these numbers have this mathematical relationship. But again, a lot of these hit songs for this label turned 20 years old in the middle of 2025, meaning they're still 20 years old. The label turns 29 this year. Don't forget the word black equals 29. And here we are. This morning is Jackie Robinson's birthday anniversary. The other year, they took out the Black Eagle on this day. Back in 2018, Oscar Gamble died on this day, as well as Rajuel Butler, as well as LaTanya Lemon, the sister of Don Lemon, who fell through the ice and died. And now Don Lemon's arrested the day before the anniversary of her death over this ice protest. I mean, give me a break. But yeah, Asylum Records is who owns Swishahouse Records, which is David Geffen's label. And again, there's been some weird deaths over the years connected to David Geffen. Notice how Asylum Records overlaps with Society of Jesus, 56 and 79. As we'll get to, the leader of the Society of Jesus, Arturo Sosa, this death came 79 days after his birthday. Asylum Records also equates to 173, which is the 40th prime. DJ equals 40. The death came 40 days before Paul Wall's birthday. Again, Mr. Watts is a DJ. Funny enough, Still Tippin', the first big song for the label, came out on November 12th, which is Arturo Sosa's birthday, the leader of the Jesuits. So, again, 79 days from the anniversary of the first hit song for the label. Again, it goes with the Society of Jesus thing. It also goes with the murder thing. Murder equates to 79. We're about to hit on some major 83s, like the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. Remember, the word rapper equals 38 and 34 has that overlap with murder. Watts equals 83 and 34, like murder. Talking about Mr. Watts. David Geffen, whose label owns Swishahouse, he will turn 83 next month on the 52nd day of the year. Mr. Watts is dead at 52. David Geffen also equates to 56, like Society of Jesus. 214 as well. Church of Satan equals 56 and 214. Again, a lot of powerful people are in that organization, which has the Jesuit fingerprints all over it. But yeah, David Geffen about to turn 83. So you might want to look into artists connected to David Geffen because it could get deadly. Again, the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83, and murder equates to 83. As for the man who co-founded Swishahouse with Michael Watts, Ronald Coleman, a.k.a. OG Ron C., he's 52 right now as well, born in 73. Notice it's 201 days before his upcoming birthday this year. Again, if you're new here, that is the pinnacle number of the Jesuits, the Jesuit Order 201. I talk about it all the time. And I couldn't find Michael Watt's real birthday, or if this is his real birthday, it doesn't make any sense how he could be reported dead at 52. Online, it says he's born June 7th, 1976. So if that were true, that means he would turn 50 later this year. But that 6-7 birthday stands out, doesn't it? And especially all the 6-7 memes. Again, as we've talked about for over a decade, blood sacrifice 67, human sacrifice 67, killer 67, satanic 67, soul 67. Doesn't mean if you're born on June 7th, you're satanic, but it does mean you might get used by this satanic cabal in a ritual. Human sacrifice 130 and 67. So if that birthday is correct, his date of death and his date of birth fit together. Yeah, I'm not positive though that is his birthday, since it doesn't exactly make sense that all the sources reporting him dead at 52. I mean, even right here, he's born June 7th, 1976, died January 30th at age 52. How's that possible? If it was 2029, he'd be 52 years old. We're doing a Back to the Future thing here. But yeah, Slim Thug also on the label, dead 144 days after Slim Thug's birthday, Jesuit Order 144. Don't forget, September 8th is special to the Jesuits in the Catholic Church. That's the Virgin Mary's birthday. They venerate Mary on that day. His birth name also has the Gematria matching Jesuit Order. And his birth name also has the Gematria 42 in light of this death coming one day before Jackie Robinson's birthday, which is today, the day I'm giving this presentation. And notice his hit song, Like a Boss, from its release date to the death, 83 days. Murder, 83. Watts, 83. David Geffen about to turn 83. So, I mean, it's amazing how they line this stuff up, but we see him do it again and again. And it starts to make you wonder if that's part of how people get chosen, because there's a lot of talented people in the world. There's a lot of great rappers in the world and musicians who just never make it anywhere. They don't get recognized. They don't get chosen. But we see this again and again when people die, how the people they're connected to, how everything just lines up so perfectly. And it's almost like it was planned from the beginning. And that's why this group of people were put together. Again, it's the only way I can explain it, because I think everybody knows what I just said is true. There's a lot of super talented people who never make it in the industry. And then there's people sitting on the sidelines looking at the person who is famous and on TV and the hit song. And they're like, how did they make it? I mean, I'm better than they are, and everybody knows it. How are they the one? For example, is Mike Jones a real talented rapper? I would say, what are the? I don't want to be mean. It's not really about that, but obviously not. And he had all these hit songs on the radio. I remember back when his music was on the radio. I think, you're listening to Pimp C talk about the only way to make it in the industry is sacrifice your friends and loved ones or bend over and pull your pants down. And the next thing you know, Pimp C's dead on Jay-Z's birthday. They had the song together, another Houston rapper. So yeah, it's just, you look at the way this stuff happens and you say, is this what's going on? Is this how they get chosen? Is the cabal, let me see your birthday. Let me see your name. Okay. We got a little ritual planned out here. Okay, we put it all together just right. Look how it lines up now. RIP. Yeah, and again, why are they killing all these people? Is the other $1 million question. It does seem like it's some kind of blood magic. Does it keep these people that live to be 100 years old at the top of these labels, these super wealthy types? Uh, Is it somehow helping them preserve their youth? I mean, I got a million questions too, but I can just see how they've put out this music, murder by numbers, killing as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3, Gematria, the killing name, and then just how it all lines up day after day. And again, you want to keep this simple? Just stay right here with the first big artist on the label, Mike Jones. I mean, literally 73 days after Mike Jones's birthday. You stick to this 73 pattern with celebrity death, you'd be amazed at how many entries you could make per year in the scrapbook. Oh, another celebrity in 73. Oh, another one. Again, cause of death 73, ritual sacrifice 73, Michael Watts 73, 73 days after Mike Jones' birthday. All right, and then this bomb cyclone thing. I mean, again, you just open up the article, Weather Channel. A winter storm this weekend will intensify into a potent nor'easter with snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding from the Carolinas to New England. What? The weekend before the Super Bowl when New England and Carolina are a big part of the story? Again, Drake May and Mac Hollins went to UNC. Bill Belichick, who used to coach New England, got sent to UNC and then criticized the Patriots when they drafted Drake May, saying he thought it was a bad pick. Now they're in the Super Bowl, and he looks like a bum because he couldn't even get UNC a win. And then again, this is all at the end of a week where one of the big stories was that he got rejected by the Hall of Fame. And, again, the National Fix League is all scripted. Everything's rigged and scripted. Tom Brady wouldn't be shit. He probably wouldn't even be in the NFL if it wasn't rigged and scripted. I mean, the guy has zero athletic bones in his body. And people are under such hypnosis, they can't see what a joke the NFL is. But you would rightfully look at Bill Belichick and say, yeah, maybe he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Who cares if he won Super Bowls because he's been total trash without Brady, right? I mean, that would be the narrative. Brady leaves New England, takes the whole city. Brady's so good, he took Tampa to the Stanley Cup, to the World Series, and the Super Bowl all just by going down there. That's how great Tom Brady is. No, that's how scripted it all is. But anyway, just for the record right now, home teams for this NFL season have 152 wins and 131 losses. Do you know who's home in the Super Bowl? The Patriots are. So road teams are on 131 wins for the Super Bowl, or for this season. If you measured all the home and away games for this season, away teams are on 131 going into the Super Bowl. And of course, who got the 131st road win of the year? It was the Patriots in Denver, and they kept Denver on 151 home wins in that game. Denver, Colorado equals 151. That's how scripted the NFL is. Yes, in the most simple cipher. Denver, Colorado, 151. And the last time the Super Bowl was in San Francisco, we had the same AFC championship, except for Denver beat the Patriots. That was Super Bowl 50, the one where USA Today wrote the hit piece on me, January 27, 2016, because in week 3 of that season, I had laid out exactly what two teams would be in the Super Bowl, why Denver would beat the Panthers, why Von Miller would be the MVP, and why there'd be a Black Panther tribute at halftime, because it was all about Huey P. Newton, who died the same year as Cam Newton, the year the new Black Panthers were founded in 1989. And by the way, Huey P. Newton died on the day, leaving 131 days left in the year. Cam Newton was born on the 131st day of the year in 1989. And look at Huey P. Newton. His name equals 131 like Super Bowl, but also 58 like Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, and Von Miller, number 58, was the MVP, who was drafted 1 pick after Cam Newton. Again, things we all called out at the start of the season. See how Huey P. Newton's 131 and 41 like Super Bowl? Again, one of these teams can pick up their 41st postseason win in the big game. But, anyway, Super Bowl. And just for the record, you see how Super Bowl is also 41 and 49, and we're getting a rematch of Super Bowl 49? It's 227 days after the Seahawks coach's birthday, which is the 49th prime. The Super Bowl is. He's from Boston, the coach of the Seahawks. Go figure, just like the Patriots. And it's just like, who else played at the Jesuit school in Boston? Matt Ryan, who gave up the 25-point lead on 2-5 in the 97th season, which is the 25th prime. A game played in Houston in the year of the 25-yard touchback. Again, they changed the touchback to 25. Notice all the things they did for the Patriots all along the way. Brady became 5-2 in that Super Bowl on the date that could be written 2-5 or 5-2. Bill Belichick, born in 52. Bill Belichick's name equals 97. But then the year that Brady got his 7th ring, they made it so that 7 teams from each conference made it to the playoffs. Just they changed the schedule to 17 games in the regular season, which didn't make any sense because why would you have more home or away games for a certain team in a year? It's just stupid. 17, the 7th prime number. They'll eventually move it to 18 games. We'll see if they do it next year. Next year's Super Bowl 61, the 18th prime. Don't forget, number 18, Caleb Williams, his season ended versus the Rams 61 days after his birthday when the Rams are hosting Super Bowl 61. And that was right after the 18-point comeback for the Bears' 18th postseason win. But yeah, anyway, the Super Bowl is 179 days after Vrabel's birthday, the 41st prime, and 227 days after Mike McDonald's birthday, the 49th prime. Vrabel became 11-2 this year in his 112th game as a coach, picking up the 106th home win of the year in primetime on a Monday Night Football game. That's all this stuff is so scripted. But anyway, now we get New England hitting with a bomb cyclone a week before the Super Bowl. And just notice how bomb, cyclone, and Patriots overlap. And remember, Los Angeles also equals 53. The year of Super Bowl 53, Boston beat LA in the World Series and the Super Bowl. Again, off this knowledge, we helped a man make $350,000 by parlaying exactly what game the World Series would end in the beginning of July. We had Boston to beat LA. Here's why we had Boston to beat LA 4-1 in the World Series 99 days before the 99th NFL season would end with Super Bowl 53. Again, Chris Sale, number 41, big star for Boston that year. Boston beats LA 4-1, Super Bowl 41 like LA. Brady was 41 years old at the time. Remember what happened to Kobe at 41 in LA, right? Kobe and Gianna, and now here we are just days after the anniversary of their death, and it's Winter Storm Gianna. That's another sick joke going on here. Don't forget, you guys, Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. Gianna Bryant, 54, dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54, dead on a Sunday when sun is 54 and the sun is a star. And Kobe was one of the biggest stars on earth. Kobe Bryant also 58, like Los Angeles Lakers, like star. Anyway, I got to stop. It's too early and I'm being too tangential. I woke up at 4. Let me go back to where what was I trying to say a second ago? Rewind. Oh yeah, it's talking about all the 41 stuff. So Super Bowl 53. Again, you can see it. Los Angeles 53. Patriots 53. Super Bowl 53. Patriots over LA. 53 is the 16th prime. There were 16 points in that game. The score was 13-3. Like football is 133. Like LA's 13. Like Gianna died at 13. But yeah, measure from, and we measured this in July. We saw the way it worked out. We said, look at that. If the World Series ends 4-1, it'll be 99 days before the 99th season ends with New England beating LA. And remember who the star, actually remember a couple things. The Patriots came into that season with 523 franchise wins. That's the 99th prime number. And the star at LA at the time was Aaron Donald. His birthday was May 23rd, 523. He wore 99. Aaron Donald, 99. Again, we had all this stuff mapped out, but, like I said, we had exactly what the World Series would be and what game it would end in, synced with the Super Bowl. And when you can parlay things that exact, the correct teams in both sports, and the World Series to end in Game 5 versus the right two teams, that's how you can turn a relatively small sum of money into something like $350,000. And that is the beauty of this knowledge. And because of what we've done, they've made it a lot harder. Anyway, Winter Storm Gianna. Do you see how it overlaps with National Football League? 220 and 85. They're calling this Winter Storm Gianna. From the Carolinas to New England. And Winter Storm Gianna is also 239, which is the 52nd prime. Number 52 is the ultimate weather warfare numbers I've written books about, as I've talked about so many times over the years. Flood Enlil Earth. They're saying the storm will likely bring flooding. Frigid flooding. That is the worst. But Enlil's the Babylonian god of storms and floods. And just in case you're new here, I mean, look at all these ciphers here, how it overlaps. Enlil, Earth, flood. Look at it in the base ciphers. All this overlap right here. So, interesting that the 239 is there. And then the other thing that's interesting is, do you recall how Trump declared the Patriot games December 18th, 52 days before the Super Bowl? And that was the same day the Seahawks came back and beat the Rams with their first ever 16-point comeback in the fourth quarter to start week 16 on the day that Greg Biffle, number 16, in NASCAR died in North Carolina. And he was from Washington State, like how that game was played in Seattle, Washington, where the Seahawks came back on the Rams. And by the way, that game had a lot to do with Kobe because it was the anniversary of Kobe's jersey retirement. Notice there were 75 points in the game, 38-37. By the way, the NFC Championship was played 38 days later after the Seahawks came back and won with 38. Remember, Kobe died exactly 38 weeks after his wife, which seemed to be a tribute to Colorado, where he had the affair and cheated on her and then bought her the big rock. Colorado, 38 land, the 38th state, who, of course, won the last Super Bowl in San Francisco on the 38th day of the year, the golden anniversary when Gold's 38. Don't forget, Gold's also 16, like the Niners won their first Super Bowl 16 on the... Again, if you guys don't know it, look it up, man. The Super Bowl 16 was played on the 134th anniversary of the Gold Rush beginning. But let's see here. Yeah, they also beat the Panthers, who lost to the Patriots in Super Bowl 38. But yeah, anyway, Trump declared the Patriot games on the day that the Seahawks came back over the Rams. Think about how this all works out. That was 52 days before the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is 239 days after Trump's birthday, which is the 52nd prime. And remember, the last time we had a 239 Super Bowl around Donald Trump, it was Super Bowl 52. And that was the year that he took on the protesters of the flag on the 23rd of September. Trump has the same birthday as the flag, June 14th. The flag was sewn in Philly at 239 Arch Street. Philly, the home of the flag, beats the Patriots with the flag on their helmet in Super Bowl 52. Again, the beauty of this knowledge, we said if the Eagles won that, I was very torn on who would win that game, but I said if the Eagles win, watch, it's going to be Zach Ertz, number 86, scoring the winning touchdown 86 days after his birthday, because the national anthem was adopted 86 years before that season. What do you know? Zach Ertz scored the winning touchdown at 30-1 odds. Boom. So... And just to take you back a year ago on January 31st, this year we get a storm in tribute to the Super Bowl. A year ago, we got a plane crashing in Philadelphia. Remember, there were numerous plane things going on last year, planes hitting helicopters. There was a lot to it, but just to keep it short and sweet, it was a Learjet 55. Eagles had just had a big 55-point win in the playoffs, but it crashing. Oh, yeah, and they just gotten Brandon Graham, number 55, back. There was a lot to this, but here, oh yeah, they had it synced up with the plane came from Wichita, Kansas. It was 140 days before Josh Shapiro's birthday. Hold on. The Super Bowl last year was also 131 days from Josh Shapiro's birthday. And again, all my haters out there, Zach had the Chiefs to three-peat. Yeah, I did before the season. And the narrative still looked pretty decent for the Super Bowl, but because we knew the Chiefs could get their 22nd postseason loss, I told my whole community for not Chiefs. And you're right, Eagles. I told my whole community for 2 straight weeks, because the Chiefs can get the 22nd postseason loss, you need to hedge with the Eagles. And also, Andy Reid got his 61st loss with the Chiefs last year. Philadelphia's 61, Eagles is 22. Of course, he used to coach Philly. It was all about him last year. But no, we were in the driver's seat to win on our future, and we hedged with the Eagles, so we still won. And that's why it's annoying, all these losers out there always trying to talk shit. We were in the driver's seat. You know, we rode the Chiefs all the way through. We hit them for the future to win the AFC Championship, and then we hedged with the Eagles and won there too. So, and we had a nice game with futures as well last year in the Super Bowl. But yeah, I just look how it is last year. Last year, the plane crashes in Philadelphia on Roosevelt literally has quadruple overlap with Super Bowl. 131 days from Shapiro's birthday. And then his state wins the championship. Also, from the anniversary of the first Learjet 55 flying to the crash was 41 weeks. Big Super Bowl numbers. Year after year. Same rituals year after year. Let me see if I can pull up the $1 million clue that helped me hit my first Super Bowl future. It's probably still on my old website. Manning 131. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Look at this, you guys. ESPN literally kept this story up all year. All year, ESPN kept this story up the year of Super Bowl 50. Right here. The children in Indiana named after Peyton Manning. And 57 is a championship number. When you spell out 57 as a word, it equals 131. But ESPN kept this up on their football page all season, this minute 31 story. And 57 is 131, like championship is, like Super Bowl. And remember, things like World Series equal 57 and NBA Finals equals 57. Again, that's how you can see these are championship numbers. And they come up year after year. Dave Roberts last year got his 57th win as a manager, winning the World Series. You can just verify these things by just going to a website like Baseball Reference. The year before that, the Dodgers won the year before that, and they got their 57th postseason win in the time they'd been in LA. Where's Dave Roberts at? Oh, I take it back. God, there was a 57 last year. Dave Roberts actually got his 69th win last year in the World Series, which is also a World Series number. I got to go back and double check what the 57 was. I know the World Series began on the 147th day of Dave Roberts' age. There was definitely a 57 with last year's World Series. But yeah, Dave Roberts actually got his 69th win, to be clear. But yeah, these same numbers just come up year after year after year. And they put them in front of your face, too. Remember, that number 18, Peyton Manning, rides off into the sunset with his 18th season. Let me pull up the Super Bowl 50 box score for you so you can see the first play of the game. I still remember an 18-yard wobbler from number 18 to 81 to start the game for his 18th season. I mean, go back and watch the highlight. Why would the quarterback plane a million miles off of the receiver? Look at this. First play of the game. Look at this. First play of the game, you guys. I remember it like it was yesterday. First play of the game right here. 18-yard pass from Peyton Manning to Owen Daniels. And just go back and find the highlight. You'll see the corner's just playing a million miles off the tight end. Why? Peyton Manning couldn't even throw the ball that year. Slow, no velocity, wobblers. I mean, go back and watch the first pass. And you just got to love how they got the ball to the 38. I mean, we always call Colorado the 38th state. That Super Bowl is on the 38th day of the year. Colorado 38, Panthers 38, golden anniversary, gold 38. National Fixed League. Archie Manning, the father of Peyton and Eli, who won all these Super Bowls when he couldn't win anything. And don't forget how the Saints, who Archie played for, won their first Super Bowl. They won it over Peyton Manning because it's all just a big joke. And they won it after the flooding of Katrina. Anyway, I got to get back on the grind. We got to do the Patreon sports stream here in a little bit. So I got to finish up the sports decoding this morning. Demons Wilson, is that really his name? Dead from Sanford and Son. Yeah, as we approach the Super Bowl, there'll be a bunch of deaths. Demons, really? Demons Wilson. Grady. Okay. Demond. Okay. Grady Demond Wilson. Dead at 79, huh? Did we just not talk about that number? Murder 79, Society of Jesus 70. Look, he died 79 days after the Superior General's birthday. That was yesterday. Dead at 79 days after the Superior General's birthday. We just covered this same pattern right here with, let me come down to it. The record label that owns Swishahouse, Asylum Records, 5679, like Society of Jesus, Still Tippin' came out on the same day. That's the Superior General's birthday, the leader of the Society of Jesus, aka the Jesuits. So January 30th was 79 days after his birthday. And look, what do you know? Right before Jackie Robinson's birthday, how old would Jackie be this year? He would be 107. Ugh, tough one. Ritual Sacrifice 107. 122nd World Series coming up. That 107. Remember how big 107 was with this past NFL weekend? First game, 10-7. And then they told you at the end of that game, the Patriots had only had 206 yards of offense. The Seattle area code, that was the clue right there. Seattle was going to beat the Rams. Our community capitalized big time. We had the Patriots to win for all kinds of reasons. Don't forget Dick Geron with a 10-7 birthday died a year to the day of the Super Bowl in Massachusetts. And also don't forget Stidham was drafted. Did you guys see that Stidham had 133 yards passing last week? He was drafted by the Patriots 133rd overall. Football's 133 like Colorado. But he hadn't thrown a touchdown since 10-7. He hadn't started in 107 weeks. His only touchdown to Cortland Sutton 107 days after Sutton's birthday. And don't forget the Broncos played the first game of Week 10. They also won that game 10-7. But this is what's going on, you guys. Again, Dick Geron, born on 10-7, dead a year to the day of the Super Bowl at age 74. Now you got the guy who portrayed Michael Orr, number 74, on his deathbed as we approach the Super Bowl. And you'd never believe how many wins Mike Vrabel's on. Hold up here. I mean, you almost don't even need to say any more about this death, just seeing he's dead at 79 days after the Superior General's birthday. You know, there's a lot more to it, but I mean, that just tells you what's up right there. He's got the 257 and 86 in his name, like blood sacrifice. 257, 86. Man, look at Sanford and Son in Jesuit order, 144, 54, 72. And the death is perfectly coordinated with the leader of the Jesuits. And I got all these yoo-hoos in my comments every time I point this out. This guy's such a shill. Jesuits. It's the Jays. The Jays are on the puppet strings of the Jesuits. Again, the Jays' wealth in this world is so minuscule compared to what the Catholic Church and the Jesuits are. The Jesuits own so much more land, so much more buildings, so many more governments. I mean, what militaries do the Jays have? And no, Israel's not their military. That's a Jesuit creation, that entire nation. Again, this is who runs the world. That's why you're on their calendar. See, that's the problem with a lot of you guys. You don't even know whose calendar you're on. You're on the Jesuit order's calendar. And if you don't know that, look it up. They invented the Gregorian calendar. The Jesuit order did. Why do you think this stuff checks out so perfectly every day? That's why you guys are so dense. I'm here showing you every day who's running the show. And you guys are coming here, still doing the Jesuit thing? Yeah, because it adds up every fucking day. Yeah, and it's sad. And like I said, remember who Lincoln said was responsible for the Civil War and the greatest purveyors of slavery in America, the Jesuits, as they kill black man after black man after black man? Doesn't make sense to you? There's not a historical precedent here? You remember the U.S. ended its occupation of Haiti on the 400th birthday of the Jesuit order, August 15th, 1943. The 400th birthday. Or no, 1934. The 400th birthday. Isn't there a Bible, 400 years of slavery, Haiti, this major slave port? Sanford and Son came out in 72. Look at that, you guys. Came out in 72. Remember, sun equals 54. The Jesuit logo is the sun because the Catholic Church worships the sun. The sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. First episode date, January 14th, 72. So he died 16 days after that anniversary. The Jesuits have existed since the 16th century. All day, watch. All day I'm going to be getting messages for people to ask me to decode this death because they won't watch till the end of the video. They think if they watch the first 2 minutes of a video, they get all the information. Yeah, they saved this news for Jackie Robinson. It's just the same stuff every year, too. It's funny how they report that he was 5'9". I wonder if he really was 5'9". Remember, Negro, Slave, Blues, Rasta, they all equal 59. His birthday is the day leaving 79 days left in the year, October 13th. Born on the day leaving 79 days, dead at 79. He's dead 109 days after his birthday. Obviously, 79 plus 30. Los Angeles is 109. And remember that this number's been big in their recent World Series wins. Not this past World Series when they won it, they got their 106th win on Fernando Valenzuela's birthday, and they synced it up with this NFL season, which is the 106th. Jackie Robinson used to play football in college, but Fernando Valenzuela's name equals 106. The year before when they beat the Yankees in the World Series, they won it with their 109th win. And remember, the 3 times in history that the Yankees lost to the Dodgers in the World Series, a president was shot in each of those years. Los Angeles 109, Yankees 109, shooting 109. And remember, from the Trump shooting hoax, July 13th, 2024, to the Dodgers winning the World Series was exactly 109 days later. Just a script. To the Trump shooting hoax, I mean, it's amazing how many people fell for that. You got to be a total moron to think that was real. Total hoax. Kayfabe straight from the WWE, but yeah, it was perfectly synced. Dodgers get their 109th win of the year, 109 days after the hoax, and it tells you that Reagan's was probably a hoax too, and maybe even JFK's. So yeah, I know all these things are connected. I wonder what was the 1972 World Series? That was 11 years before I was born. Athletics and the Reds, huh? Yeah, it'd be interesting to go back through Sanford and Son. I do need to wrap this up though, because I have to get other work done. I wasn't anticipating doing this, but let me find the little Wikipedia here for Sanford and Son. It ended on the 84th day of the year, March. So look at that. So that means he died 54 days. Oh, come on, man. The show, come on. You guys, I just talked about how Sanford and Son equals 54 and 72, like Jesuit order. Came out in 72. He's dead 54 days before the anniversary of the last episode. And it fits in with the whole baseball thing, too, because remember, in a baseball game, there's 54 outs. If you're new here, baseball has that double connection to 54. Baseball. Well, again, baseball is a great way to introduce gematria. 54th, the most simple cipher. 54th, the reverse cipher with numerology. 18, like there's 18 half innings in a game. 162, that's how many games are in the modern schedule, 162 game season. Notice sun worship has a lot of those same numbers. And again, baseball's played in the sunnier part of the year, spring to, mid-fall, the fall classic when it all ends. And even things like MLB have the 54 in it. Again, big sun number. But yeah, so they got to announce this on Jackie Robinson Day. I see what they did. What year did hold on. Didn't Jackie Robinson die in 72? You guys, that's another thing they did with Jackie Robinson this year. He did die in 72 because the World Series began on the 53rd death anniversary of Jackie Robinson, and the Dodgers picked up the 53rd World Series win for the National League. So the year Sanford and Son came out the year Jackie died, and Jackie died at 53. Look at that. Dead at 53, October 24th, 72. Which means this man who's dead, his birthday is right before his birthday. He died. So Jackie died. Get that. Jackie died 11 days after his 26th birthday. And now here we are in 2026. And baseball's about to get underway, you guys. Baseball's about to get underway. It's almost spring training time. It's cold how they do it. It is cold. Look at where he died. He died in Stamford. What's the name of this show? Sanford? Sanford. Sanford. Stamford. These words almost sound the same. And I always love when the haters like, do you know how long it must take Zach to contrive all this stuff to put it together? Seconds, like always, like every time. Like how there's so much output because this stuff's so redundant, because it's so repetitive. So Sanford and Son was based on a British show as well. Let me see about that one. Steptoe and Son. That one went 57 episodes. World Series 57. I know we just talked about that. It ended on December 26th in 74. January 5th, 62. Hold on, I gotta run one more thing. From the debut of this show until Jackie's death, January 14th, 1972 to October 24th, 1972. 40 weeks and 4 days, so it would have been in the 41st week. Brooklyn's 41. Brooklyn is actually 40 and 41 because Jackie actually played for the Brooklyn Dodgers uh, initially. So that's probably part of it. And then the 41st week, LA 41, where the Dodgers moved to. But hold up. Oh, no, never mind. Doesn't matter. How many years did this show run? This show ran 136 episodes, the 16th triangular number. I was just talking about where the 16 fit in with his passing. The show ended in 77. It ended the year of Super Bowl 11, the year Brady was born, which was turned 58 last year. It's going to turn 59 this year. Remember, 59 is the big Negro slave number. 59 Negro slave. Remember, the only time two black quarterbacks faced each other in the Super Bowl was on Lincoln's birthday, who freed the slaves, and then last year in Super Bowl 59. And remember, 40 acres and a mule, that phrase equals 105. Last year was the 105th season. The Eagles won with 40 on the 40th day of the year. About this man dying yesterday, sync with the Superior General. Yesterday was also 267 days after we got the 267th Pope. I almost wonder if that matters. 40 acres and a mule. Funny enough, 267. Philadelphia area code, city of brotherly love. Calling black guys brothers. It just makes you wonder. Again, the Pope from Chicago went to school at Villanova outside Philly, the 267. Okay. Yeah, I got to get on the grind with the rest of the sports stuff. If you guys have anything else to add about any of this stuff, from the death of Michael 5,000 Watts to the bomb cyclone from Carolina to the New England Patriots the week before the Super Bowl to this death right here, I'm all ears. Red Fox died 34 years ago. That's another one of these race numbers. Black's 34, like murder. And he died on the day, leaving 81 days left in the year. So, yeah, I'll let you guys put in the rest of it, but that's what I got for now. So, RIP to another. And sadly, there's probably, you guys, I mean, it's just like the one year on Jackie Robinson. Look at this, you guys. The other year on Jackie Robinson Day, Rajuel Butler reported dead, 42 in a car crash. Oscar Gamble reported dead 42 days from his own birthday. He's a baseball player like Jackie. And LaTanya Lemon, the sister of Don Lemon, who just had that protest 42 days before his birthday and now gets arrested the day before Jackie Robinson Day, the day before the anniversary of his sister's death. Remember, Jackie's also 42. Like slavery, like Tuskegee, like we're about to hit Black History Month, February. And there's only 2 months that have the 42 connection, February and May. And when May comes around, they do a bunch of weird black ritual murder stuff too. But it gets the worst in February. And don't forget, Carter G. Woodson, the godfather of Black History Month, has that 201 all over his name. Carter G. Woodson, 177, 69, and 201, just like the Jesuit order. Again, that's who's running the show, you guys. We're on their calendar, witnessing their wicked rituals day after day. So, all right. Let me see. 4 states in storm's path under state of emergency, aka the number of deaths. From empty theaters to packed houses. Response to Melania Trump documentary reflects America's political division. Have you guys ever seen my video from February 2016 when I said Trump would win Super Tuesday and why they'd install him as the divider-in-chief? Again, these things should be watched by all people. So that's why we're shadow banned. That's why we're shadow banned out here. Shout out to Punk Rock. Punk Rock was Punk Rock's one of the young, brilliant minds in our community. I'm sure he put that up before I caught that. Yeah, well done. Matt Big Tipper, I think he had a good day yesterday. What's up? Catherine O'Hara dies 73 weeks after the sequel Beetlejuice. Crazy. 130 was released in America on 9/6/2024. Just so happens the day she died was 21 weeks since the main star Michael Keaton birthday, and 73 is 21st prime. Nice decode, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for always being a big tipper. All right. For the mics of the world who are waiting for the sports decode, I'm going to go get to work. And yeah, thanks to everyone who hits the like and the share. Again, RIP to the fallen. And again, you guys just pay attention, man. This happens every year on Jackie Robinson's birthday. Hold on. I just got to say one more thing because it's already 2 years have passed. I used to always call Urban View on Sirius XM, and I went on to a lot of their shows and did Gematria decodes. But Joe Madison's screener would never take my call. It was the only call I couldn't get show I couldn't get on Urban View. Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, announced dead on the 105th birthday of Jackie Robinson. I mean, are you kidding me? Joe Madison, 105 and 42. And this is the kind of stuff I called in. I'd call in and teach him about this 42 code and the latest PSYOP in the news. I'd turn into Urban View, and they'd be talking about it like it was real and shaming their own people. And I'd call and I'd be like, you guys got to learn this Gematria thing. Joe Madison, though, wouldn't take the call. Isn't it funny that Joe Madison ends up dead by the code? As far as I know, all the other hosts from that network still kicking. Black Eagle, which he went by 59, like Slave Negro Rasta Blues, like Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. So, oh yeah, they even put the 56 code on Urban View. Dead at 74, major killing number. Dick Geron, dead at 74, a year to the day of the Super Bowl. Now the guy who portrayed Michael Orr looks like he's probably going to die when Orr wore 74, and Orr was in that Super Bowl where the Ravens beat the Niners in the Harbaugh Bowl. John equals 47. Jim doesn't. John won it. Yeah, Joe Madison broadcasting out of Detroit on the 42nd parallel. Remember, Martin lived in apartment 42 in the sitcom. Martin equals 42. Yeah, I put it up here. All these 42s, Madison, slavery. Yeah. Martin, 60 years old right now. Man. You know, it's interesting that Martin's birthday is the 106th day of the year, and he's 60 right now. Maybe Martin Lawrence needs to look out, you guys. It's Super Bowl 60 in the 106th season. Remember, Black has the 106 connection. Black Lives Matter has the 106 connection. The motto for Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe, is 106. It's also 52. Like, it's also 74. Madison dead. Watts dead at 52. And then the 60 thing. Remember what they just did to Don Lemon. Don Lemon. He's going to turn 60 on the 60th day of the year, which is Ice's birthday as well, March 1st. He's at the protest 42 days before his birthday. He's arrested 30 days before his birthday. And with the hard ER ending, 60, 42, 30. Again, this stuff's not an accident. This is what they do. So don't shoot the messenger. All right, anyway, I do got to get to work, you guys. Thanks again for all the support. Appreciate it. Appreciate the super chats and the big tip, Matthew. Time to get on the sports grind. It's another winning day ahead. Till next time, True Seeker.